welcome to the MIAA Live. I'm Avi Sharma.
And I'm Jackson Mielman.
All right, Jackson, so last week we were really excited looking into these games. It was going to be some good ones. We see a couple upsets. We saw some nail-biters and some games that actually got away from us. But, man, just another week in the MIAA.
Yeah, another fun week in this conference as we saw a 38-game win streak snapped.
That is something I couldn't believe. We saw a dominant passing team struggle. It was just an unbelievable week in the MIAA, excuse me. So let's get right into it. The first game, the game of the week. Northwest Missouri travels to Pittsburgh State, and like you mentioned, the streak is over. The number one team in the country falls 20-10. And Jackson, if you run for over 100 yards, the first team to do that against this Bearcat defense, you're going to win the game.
Yeah, most likely, as Pitt State ran the ball 50 times for 136 yards. They also threw for 100 yards in this game, but Northwest Missouri, too many turnovers to dig themselves out of this hole.
Well, that was the case as Zach Martin, the quarterback for the Bearcats, 16 for 41, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. That cannot happen home or away. But how about backup quarterback Thomas LePage stepping in again, starting this one, looking great. 7-11, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just an absolute great win for this Gorilla team, which, you know, the season might be over, but that's got to be one of the best wins of the season. And Jackson, who was the last team to beat Northwest Missouri?
I think it was Pitt State.
It was Pitt State as the Gorillas. Congratulations on beating the number 1 team. Nebraska Kearney travels to Lindenwood. This one was a nail-biter all the way through, a great game. But Lindenwood, 35-31, they just dominated. What do they want to do?
Yeah, Lindenwood had a very good offensive game plan in this game as they were able to pull out this one 35-31 against Nebraska Kearney.
Yeah, and you know, I look at the stats, and the G. Jackson, it doesn't look like Lindenwood's going to win this game by how he played. 16 for 34, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. But when you got a receiver like Kai Collier who gets 5 of those catches, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns, no wonder the Lions won that game. And then I know we had a couple games that we were excited for. This one I was personally excited for. Missouri Southern travels to Tahlequah to play Northeastern State. Battle of defeateds, no longer. The Riverhawks get their first win of the season in overtime.
Yeah, Missouri Southern, tough loss. They ran for over 201 yards in this game. But Missouri Southern led for the whole entire game in a huge comeback and big win for Northeastern.
Well, that touchdown right there by Gary McKnight was the game-tying touchdown before regulation. And then guess what? McKnight gets the game-winning touchdown. So an absolute great job. The Riverhawks get the win. They got to feel good, but be careful because next week's going to be pretty rough for them, I think. And then upset now. Central Missouri travels to Central Oklahoma. Battle of the Centrals. The Broncos get the victory. Jackson, what happened?
UCO dominated this game as Brooke Bowles had 4 interceptions, a lot of turnovers for the Mules. They dug themselves in an early hole, and UCO was able to capitalize on the Mules.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was just a rough week for quarterbacks in general, but Bowles, like you mentioned, 4 picks. That cannot happen. But UCO, I guess the receivers were wide open as 3 of their different receivers had over 100 yards, and each of them had a touchdown. So the Broncos actually looked phenomenal at home. Brooke Bowles and company got to get something going as they got to get some motivation moving into next week. And then Emporia State travels to Fort Hays. You know, I don't know what to say. Emporia State is just struggling right now, Jackson. They didn't score until 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Emporia's lost all confidence. They're still better than what their record shows, but Fort Hays, they showed why. They're the new number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, and that's got to be the case. But, I mean, Emporia State, they didn't have their starting quarterback. No Braxton Marstall in this game, so Taquan Wallace took over. And he didn't play too bad, but, you know, your first game to start on the road, definitely a tough place to play, obviously, as it's the number 1 team in the country. Emporia State's got to bounce back, but Fort Hays State, whoo, they got a tough one next week. But Washburn travels to Missouri Western, the final game of last week. The Ichabods, this was a close game, but the Ichabods doing what they got to do, and they looked good.
Yeah, Ichabods looked real good. I wouldn't let this one fool you. Griffins, they struggled in the first half, but they outscored the Ichabods in the second half 21-6 and made this a ball game, but Washburn was able to overcome it and just win this game.
Well, the thing that stood out to me was another quarterback that was just struggling as Missouri Western, Skylar Windmiller, 9 for 21, 163 yards. I don't care where you play, you cannot get a victory with those kind of stats. But, you know, Jackson, that's all the games that we had last week. Now we'll look into the MIAA standings, and I tell you what, this thing just is never going to stay the same ever. Fort Hays State number 1, Northwest Missouri number 2, and then everybody else, they're jungling around. It's just chaos, Jackson.
Yeah, with Central Missouri's loss, they may be out of it, but Northwest Missouri and Fort Hays, if Northwest wins next week, they're going to be ahead of Fort Hays.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is that this standings, you just do not know what to expect as the Ichabods and Central Missouri are actually in the standings. Unbelievable. But, we're going to take a break, and we're actually going to, when we come back, we'll talk about next week's games that we're really looking forward to. You're listening here on the MIAA Live.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
And we're back. Welcome to the MIAA Live. I'm Avi Sharma.
And I'm Jackson Mielman.
All right, Jackson. So last week's in the past. We're over it. It's done. Now this week, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be some nail biters. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think Mother Nature's going to be a problem, but it's cold. It's windy. We'll see what happens. First game we're going to talk about. Northeastern State. They got that victory, but they're traveling to Central Missouri. And I tell you what, the Mules cannot be happy after last week's loss. They're going to play. I think they're going to blow them out.
Yeah, I agree. Brook Bulls and the Mules, they're going to play angry in this game. They know that loss really hurt them last week, and they're going to come out firing all cylinders. They're going to win this game.
Absolutely. I mean, the Riverhawks, they've been playing the best they can, but this one, they got to do whatever they can to win that one. But it's going to be tough. Central Oklahoma travels to Washburn. This is going to be an exciting matchup. 5-4, 6-3. The Broncos got all that motivation last week, that upset. Jackson, can they do it again this week?
I expect it to carry over, but I like Washburn in this game. I think Washburn's going to win this game, but it's going to be really close.
Well, and I think Washburn, because they're so balanced on running and passing compared to the Broncos who like to air it out, I think that's going to be the advantage. And plus, got to be that home field advantage. I think the Ichabods will also get that victory. And then, Jackson, this is the one. Fort Hays travels to Northwest Missouri. This is going to be a fireworks show. What do you think about this one?
Well, this is the one I've been waiting all year long for. Northwest, Fort Hays. I like the Bearcats at home. They know how to win. I mean, there's a reason why they've won back-to-back national championships. This could be a national championship matchup to go forth, but I like the Bearcats winning this game.
I got to agree with you. I think the Bearcats, them being at home and then having a tough loss against Pittsburgh State, that's got to be adding fuel to the fire. I think the Bearcats are going to upset now. How many times are you going to say that with Northwest as they could beat Fort Hays? Lindenwood travels to Missouri Southern. This is another game that I got circled because I think it could be something interesting. Jackson, can the Lions get that first? Well, Missouri Southern get their first win.
No. I like Lindenwood in this game. I just think I've watched them, and I think they're really good. I think they're underrated. I like their quarterback, but Missouri Southern, tough loss last week. They're not going to win this one.
Well, we'll see. Missouri Southern's been there every single game. Can they finally do it? We'll find out this Saturday, or today, excuse me. And then Missouri Western travels to Emporia State. Emporia State has just struggled all year, and so has Missouri Western. I think this is a good game for both of them to figure each other out, even though it's coming to an end. Can the Hornets get another victory here?
Yeah, I think the Hornets are going to win. I think this is going to be a good game for them going into next season. I like the Hornets by 10 in this one.
Well, we'll see if Braxton Marstall gets the call. And then finally, Pittsburgh State travels to Nebraska Kearney. The Gorillas got to have all the motivation in the world as they've done it all, and now they beat Northwest. But look out, Kearney could be the upset team today, Jackson.
No, Gorillas' defense has gotten a lot better as the season's gone on, and I think the Gorillas are going to pull out this victory.
Yeah, and we'll take one final look at the MIAA standings. We'll see. It could be anybody's game. This is going to be an interesting week to determine who's going to get it. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us today on the MIAA Live. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in next week.
Studios for the inaugural 2017 MIAA Red Zone. I'm Cam Molina, back at our MIAA headquarters. Izzy and Aaron's our producer. We have an entire deck of excellent MIAA matches for you today, including 2 games that have playoff implications. We also have 2 games that have a 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll send it out immediately to the visiting team in the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos, all the way to Topeka, Kansas against the Washburn Ichabods.
Final game in a Washburn uniform. That was a pretty special senior day, I would say.
Jan, weather-wise, what is it like down there?
It's chilly. I'll be honest with you. I'm about to put the gloves on. It's very light breezes. The first time in a month we've not had any wind to speak of, and that's a welcome thing. Got about 4 miles an hour out of the south-southwest. It probably won't be much more than that all day. The wind should not be a factor. A low, thick cloud deck. Like I said, chilly. Probably maybe get to 53 or 54 by the time we get out here later this afternoon.
Parrish Mueller set to kick it off. Back is Josh Crockett and JT Looper, 2 terrific return men. Does Parrish Mueller give a chance? Yes, Crockett catches it 1 yard deep, right up the near sideline. He gets taken down at the 15-yard line. Terrific special teams play by his senior, Devonta Staples, gets it done for the Ichabods. Starting lineups brought to you by Bob Schwartz, Certified Financial Planner of Silver Lake. For the Ichabods, Rashad Chester, Trey Parker, Jalen Durham, and Will Jones out there on the front 4. Linebackers will be Cedric Gonzalez and Derek McGreevy. Corners will be Corey Valentine, Josh Wright, and your safeties, Heath Tucker, Peter Fannin Steele, and DJ Olmstead. So the Washburn Ichabods will start on defense, and the Central Oklahoma Broncos start on their own 14-yard line. They'll be heading left to right on your radio dial, north to south. Stallard in the gun, White to his right. He's dropping back to pass, looking to throw, throws it right across the middle to his dump-off running back, and that is Bruce White, and he gets it up to the 21-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play for the Central Oklahoma Broncos.
Yeah, nice job by Stallard, just scrambling around in the pocket. Wanted to throw to Looper is who he wanted to get the ball to, then he just dumped it to his back for that 8-yard pickup.
Stallard in the gun, White to his left. Now he motions to the far sideline to throw a little slant pattern. It is caught. First down on the far numbers, and that is intended to Elliott Curry, the sophomore. It's a gain of 5 up to the 28-yard line. And it is a very fast-paced, up-tempo offense. The Broncos in motion. Here comes Looper. They hand the ball off to him on a jet sweep. They think about to stretch it out. Nice job by Olmstead. Also Derek McGreevy in on the stop. Heath Tucker, and a 7-yard gain on the jet sweep from the far sideline to the near sideline. 2nd down and 4 coming for the Broncos as, again, hurry-up offense for Nick Bobeck and company.
Yeah, Looper, little guy, 5'9", 180-pounder, and they're going to try to get him the ball a lot of different ways. Hands off, short passes. Elliott Curry's a 6'2", 207-pound receiver. Crockett's 6'4", wide receiver. They've got a really nice mix. They've always had at Central Oklahoma, a nice mix between the run and pass.
Stallard in the gun. Hands the ball off right up the middle. The Ichabods, ball's on the ground. Ball pops out. Can the Ichabods jump on it? They say they do. And it was a bad exchange between Stallard and the running back, and it's a fumble for the Ichabods.
Yeah, he got a big hit. I don't know whether that was Durham or Parker who hit him, but he took a big hit as soon as he got the handoff, and the ball popped out immediately. That was a big play defensively. Now you got a turnover, sudden change. This goes back to where you talked about, Jake, at the start. Washington was very good in first games.
Missouri. But now we will cut over to Warrensburg, Missouri.
Pocket breaks down, 25-20, 15-10, cuts inside to the 5, keeps his feet into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a hard-fought run. The pocket was breaking down, and now we have extracurricular activity and a couple of flags. After the touchdown, somebody's going to get a personal foul.
Some heads on Senior Day. For those seniors, a big opportunity to shine. Even more so for the Mules. This is a huge opportunity for them to continue what has been a great season, even following the loss against the Broncos last week, 48-30. If UCM wins now, they will end the season 8-3 and still have a chance to vie for a playoff spot. with a breakdown of the region, the top 7 teams are able to make it into the playoffs. UCM currently in 9th place.
The result of the play is a touchdown. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 19 of the offense. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4 of the defense. Those penalties offset. Both are the first unsportsmanlike conduct fouls on both players.
Okay, so there you go. A couple of unsportsmanlike fouls, and they will offset.
One on Daniels, one on Kyle Eccles. That rushing touchdown for Brook Bowles, his 7th of the year.
So Langer on for the PAT. The Mules lead it after a 28-yard touchdown run by Brook Bowles. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. The Mules lead it 7-0 over the Riverhawks of Northeastern State. You're listening to Mules football on the UC Radio Network.
Join the big swing choice of America.
Choices are usually easy, especially on things where
Schmiedler on the year, 7 of 10 field goals this season. His last field goal was blocked against Missouri Western. The ball will be placed at the 21-yard line, so it'll be a 31-yard
Here's
field
Perry
goal.
Schmiedler, one of the best scorers in Washburn history, ready to attempt a field goal about 35 yards. Schmiedler is able to pump it through as Washburn will take the early 3-0 lead over the Broncos. The Broncos, a great victory last week over UCM, their first win against a ranked opponent since 2014 under Nick Boback. Let's cut back to Warrensburg, Missouri, where UCM and the Riverhawks are currently playing right now. UCM scoring the last time out. Here are the Riverhawks and Cade Yeager. Cade Yeager having one of the best premier targets in the MIAA, and Gary McKnight. McKnight this season ranked 3rd in the MIAA in receiving yards, as well as Rakeem Abdul, their halfback, who also had a spectacular game in the double overtime victory for the first win of the season against Missouri Southern State University.
Stack the wide receivers to the near side and to the far side. Shavers to the right of Yeager. They're going to fake it to him. Yeager back to pass, throws it left side, just kind of throws that one away. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That looked like a play by a young team that wasn't sure what was going on that play.
9:25 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Mules. Trips to the far side, 2 to the near side. Yeager is out of the gun. Yeager back to pass, looks to his right, fires off his back foot's got a man and just underthrows him at midfield. Had a step on the far side, just couldn't get it to him.
Made a diving try. Zach King didn't get it thrown right to him, so he had to dive for it. Couldn't come up with it.
So now it's 3rd down and 10. Riverhawks 1 of 2 on 3rd down in the game. 9:20 to go in the first quarter. Yeager is going to be out of the gun. Shavers to his left. 3 to the near side. 1 to the far side. Yeager back to pass. Fires. Left side's going to be caught at the 37-yard line. That could be enough for a first down, and it is.
Rashawn Eubanks makes the catch for the Riverhawks, and he'll take it out across the 35 to the 37.
And that'll be another first down for the Riverhawks. So Yeager will be out of the gun with Shavers to his right. Nice drive being put together by the Riverhawks offensively. Swing it out left side. It's going to be caught by Upshaw. He'll get it to the 40 and bounce it out of bounds at the
and UCM as well as Northeastern State. As you see on your bottom screen, the #1 ranked team in the conference in the Fort Hays State University Bearcats, also, I beg your pardon, the Fort Hays State Tigers against the Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats, coming off a loss to Pittsburgh State. The Bearcats dropped from #1 in the region all the way down to #5 as the Tigers claimed that #1 seed in the Super Region 3. And you also see currently on the move right now are the Washburn Ichabods, or I beg your pardon, the Broncos against the Washburn Ichabods following Perry Schmiedler's field goal from 35 yards out. But the Tigers this season, 9-0, the best record in school history. They are seeking their very first conference title in the entirety of the time they've been in the MIAA, which dates back to 2006.
Second-ranked offense in the MIAA, moving the ball right now. They're down though 3-0.
Kansas once again. 8:37 remaining in the first quarter of action. Second down and 7. Chaz Stallard, who leads the MIAA in passing touchdowns with 23, also fourth in the country in passing yards, is able to scramble up the middle. Nick Bobeck and this UCO offense has been stellar this year. The two teams they have lost to by 7 points have been the Fort Hays State Tigers and the Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats. If UCO had been able to pull out those two contests, the season would have been wide open for this club. And Nick Bobeck doing a fantastic job in his 6th year at the helm for that Broncos team.
30 yards almost.
So the Riverhawks currently in the red zone right now, and they are actually near midfield as Cade Yeager and company marching upfield with under 8 minutes remaining in the first frame of action. Cade Yeager taking a shot deep early on and finding his way into the end zone for 6 will be the Riverhawks.
Have done that all year. They just let guys get behind them.
That's
It happens all the time.
Eubanks on the reception. He only caught 10 passes coming into the game. He's already caught 2 today, and it's his 3rd touchdown reception.
Now the Riverhawks have a chance to tie it up with 7:50 to go in the first quarter.
Blake Pierce, 11 out of 12 on extra point attempts this season. 6-2-1.
Score 7-6, UCM still leads, but Northeastern State University nipping at the heels of one of the best teams in the MIAA, even following their 48-30 loss last week. The PAT is up, and it is good. So it's all knotted up at 7 currently, and getting ready to kick off right now, the Fort Hays State Tigers against Northwest Missouri State University. We will take you back to Topeka, Kansas. Chaz Stallard will motion over both of his tight ends.
Second down and 3 for Central Oklahoma. Stallard in the gun. They hand the ball off to Looper running to the left. He cuts back inside. Nice job by Derek McGreevy corralling him right on the numbers. Jan, does he have the first down?
Looks like he might have fallen for it. They got a good look at it on the far side. That's where the chain and the sticks are.
Yep, the first
Taking a look
down.
at it. Yeah, it is a first down. Well spotted at about the 4-yard line.
So first and goal for the Central Oklahoma Broncos. 7:07 clock running here in this first quarter. Washburn up 3-0. But Central Oklahoma started on their own 20-yard line. This is play number 11. Trips to the near side. That's Crockett, Elliott Curry, and then Looper. Stallard in the gun, ball in the far left hash. Moss to his left. Looper drops back to pass, looking right down the middle of the field. It's batted down by Derek McGreevy. The ball was intended for Crockett, the big target at 6'4", but knocked down by the middle linebacker, Derek McGreevy, right at the goal line.
Yeah, and I think Emmerich was behind that as well. He'd had to go through a lot of gray jerseys that Washburn's wearing today with their dark blue pants. That had to go a long way to get through there. He's trying to throw a line drive from standing on about the 8-yard line, trying to throw it all the way to the back of the end zone. Threw a line drive, trying to get it through 3 levels of defense. That was probably fortunate for Central Oklahoma that was not intercepted.
Stallard right under center. They quick flip it to Bruce White, and White's going nowhere. Nice job by the Ichabods. DJ, nope, that is Heath Tucker. Heath Tucker with the blitz from the outside. It is going to be a loss of 4 on the play. Back to the, they're going to call it the 7 or the 6-yard line. Nice job by Heath Tucker, the second leading tackler for the Ichabods, and is now 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line.
Yeah,
so that was a 2 on the play.
And they tried to go quick, go up under center, get a quick snap, just run a quick toss sweep. Boy, Washburn's defense was all over that, and Heath made a really nice tackle, just grabbed him and threw him to the ground. But he was going nowhere, even if Heath doesn't make that play.
Trips to the far sideline. Stallard in the gun, looking towards that far sideline, still looking. Now he's going to try to run. Now he rolls out to his right. Stallard still with it. And Jalen Durham's able to bring him down right at the sideline. Will they mark it down as a sack? They will, because he's back to the 7-yard line. So Jalen Durham getting his 2nd sack of the season. And the Ichabod's defense bends but doesn't break. And they will force now a Jay Tedesco field goal. Tedesco is, Alex Quevedo, the 6-foot freshman, will be attempting a field goal.
So think how big that penalty was, because Stallard ran it in from 35 yards out, but you have a holding penalty on a receiver and takes 7 points off the board. Now they try to get 3 of those back here.
Quevedo, it'll be a kick from the right hash, and he missed it. He pulled it. Quevedo had been 7.
Currently, the Broncos missing the 24-yard field goal. Alex Quevedo had an easy chip shot but was unable to convert. Still trailing in that contest is Nick Bobeck's group. Right now, 3-0. Washburn leads at home during their senior day. As we take a glimpse back into the Northeastern State UCM matchup as the pass falls incomplete. Last time out for the Riverhawks, Cade Yeager throwing a touchdown to Rashawn Eubanks from 46 yards away. Game is 7-7 because of that. Prior to that, UCM was able to strike because Brooke Bowles rushed in from 28 yards away. Brooke Bowles, top 3 in the country in passing yards.
Peterson in the gun. Zach Willis behind him in the pistol. They hand the ball off. No, Peterson keeps. He's got room to run up the right
and the
side.
top
He's
rider,
down the middle of the field. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30.
Run coming from the Washburn Ichabods to put them in prime position to score. It was a 52-yard run by Blake Peterson that moved the football into Broncos territory way deep in there near their red zone.
So now we have a first down and 10. They're going to shovel it out to Thomas. Thomas runs to the far side, and he'll be wrapped up. That'll be a loss of a yard. Tried a little wide receiver end around. Nothing doing there with 6:41 to go in the first quarter. All tied at 7.
Tania Smith, one of the defensive linemen, able to slide to the outside and make the tackle after virtually no gain on the play.
Second down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 44 of the Riverhawks. Bowles out of the gun. Devontae
The Ichabod's trying to run the football. However, there was a fumble at the end of the play. Will Hamilton caught the football. The pass from Blake Peterson, but Amari Cole is able to recover, giving UCO the football. So following the gap by Quevedo, the place kicker, missing from 24 yards away, the Broncos have an opportunity to either tie or take the lead, depending on how Chaz Stallard and his high-octane offense is able to string together this drive. And we currently cut back to Warrensburg, Missouri, where UCM is now knocking on the front door of Northeastern State once again. Last time out, Blake Bowles was able to score, calling his own number from 28 yards away, a swing pass towards the far side of the field, and knocked out of bounds.
Back to the inside, but that's a good play by the Riverhawks.
Cameron White on the stop for the Riverhawks came over and just gave him a big shove and got him out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So Mills definitely in easy scoring range.
5:40 to go in the first quarter, all tied at 7. Line of scrimmage, the 5-yard line of the Riverhawks. Bowles has it, gets it to Turner. He runs to the near side, gets a good block and into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Mules are back on top of the Riverhawks of Northeastern State.
Right side of that Mules offensive line just sealed everybody to the inside, and Devontae cut right behind him into the end zone for an easy 5-yard touchdown. Devontae Turner scoring his 12th, 13th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, good block by Nick Warren.
And as we're in Warrensburg, Missouri, UCM is able to score. How about Devontae Turner from 5 yards away, the leading rushing touchdown player in the MIAA. That was his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. The PAT is good by Alex Langer, where the score is now 14-7. UCM defending their home turf in Warrensburg, Missouri, still trying to vie for that 7th spot in the region and trying to sneak into a playoff spot. Currently ahead of them in the regional breakdown, Arkansas Tech and Ouachita Baptist, as well as Grand Valley. Those are the 8, 7, and 6 position teams.
Therapy and occupational therapy, but we also offer speech therapy and cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation. We have your rehabilitation needs covered right here at home.
Stallard dropping back to pass, still looking, flushed out of the pocket. Can he get tracked down by Chester? He cannot. McGreevy going to run him down? No. He gets the first down and slides out of bounds all the way up to the 39-yard line. It is a gain of 10 on the play. And boy, that shows the speed of the senior Chaz Stallard, who gives the Broncos 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of Central Oklahoma. 2:30 clock running in. Ichabod's up 3-0.
Yeah, Stallard, 6 carries, 48 yards. He's got some pretty good speed, and it's not, you know, you've seen fast guys, Jake, and Stallard doesn't look like that, but nobody catches him. So he's got more speed than he looks like. Exactly.
Twins to the far side and the near side. It's Looper and Curry. Stollard, it's a straight quarterback draw. Stollard right up the middle. The Ichabods can't stop him. He slides down at the Ichabod 49-yard line. Another gain of 11. And again, Stollard is their leading rusher on the year. 387 yards. That was a straight quarterback draw as the two guards got up to the middle linebackers, Gonzalez and McGreevy.
And that's really the challenge for this, because both, if you're the inside linebackers, you know also you've got to watch for the slants coming across. You got to watch for the back out of the backfield. Then they get you leaking to the outside a little bit as you're an inside linebacker. Then they run it right where you used to be.
Curry in motion on the jet sweep. They hand it off to him. Curry up the far sideline. Can the Ichabods push him out of bounds? Olmsted does, but not until he crosses the 30-yard line. It is a gain of 29 on the play, all the way up to the Ichabod 30-yard line. Cedric Gonzalez limping off the field, the senior from Phoenix. And, of course, he's been dealing with that ankle injury, so he comes off, and he's going to have to fall on the ground because of that ankle injury. But, boy, this is a lot. How many jet sweeps have we counted right now? That's probably 6, 7 of them. I mean, they really use the zoom motion either left.
And we welcome you
right,
back to our triple screen as you see the lower portion in Maryville. Fort Hays State on the road taking on the Bearcats, 8-1 on the season. Currently going on in Warrensburg, Missouri, we have some driving offenses where the score is 14-7. Right now, UCM leads, but Northeastern State trying to pick up some offensive yardage and get back into this contest. And we will move back to Topeka, Kansas, where UCO is only trailing by 3. Chas Staller doing it all for his club right now offensively. So far in the contest, he has in total 71 yards through the air, 61 yards on the ground, in total over 130 yards of total offense.
Destroyed by Heath Tucker. What a hit by Heath Tucker. He saw the dump play to Looper, and he shed his block and absolutely planted number 2 on the ground.
You know, and Heath Tucker, just a sophomore, he made some huge strides. He played a lot last year as a freshman, but he has just gotten better and better and better and been a bigger part of this defense, it seems, every single week. And with DJ Olmsted being a senior, you would think Heath would go back then into that free safety position next year, but he's played really well.
Second down, they call it incomplete, as there was no way possession for Looper. White goes in motion to the near sideline. They throw a simple slant route. It goes to Crockett. He jukes out Corey Valentine, still on his feet.
Scores.
And then Crockett muscles past Olmsted and Fanninsteel for the touchdown. What an impressive run after the catch from Josh Crockett. That's his
What a fancy move in the open field as Chas Staller tosses his 24th touchdown of the season. He finds Josh Crockett, who is able to weave in between 3 different defenders for the Ichabods en route to a 30-yard touchdown. The PAT pending, but if it is good, it will be 7-3. Washburn trailing on Senior Day as they are vying for an opportunity to play in a bowl game with that 4th spot in the conference, down 7-3 in the first quarter of action.
Because Valentine really maybe the best corner Washburn has. He made a little fake like he was going to go inside. Valentine bit. He just took off right down the sideline and 6'4", almost 200 pounds, kind of ran through an arm tackle at about the 8 and then just danced into the end zone. Pretty impressive drive. Turnover so far being a big part of this game.
We'll get a timeout. Central Oklahoma 7. Washburn
and now we will take a trip to Warrensburg, Missouri, where currently UCM still leading the Riverhawks 14-7. UCM will receive a punt from Northeastern State here.
Puts the right foot in it. It's a high spiraling kick. Zachary calls for a fair catch at the 42-yard line, and that's the Mules are going to have it. First down and 10. 36-yard punt for Pierce and the Riverhawks, 14-7. Mules lead it by a touchdown with 4:30 to play in the first quarter. The only other game going on right now, the other 1 o'clock kickoff, Washburn and Central Oklahoma in Topeka. Central Oklahoma, they lead it by a score of 7-3. Stollard threw a 30-yard touchdown pass to Josh Crockett.
And we welcome you back live into our MIAA studio for the inaugural MIAA Red Zone. Cam Molina with you, Ian Aarons, our producer. Already 2 games going on right now. Opening kickoff bouts begin in Maryville, Missouri, where the Bearcats, who just faltered to Pittsburgh State on the road 20-10, losing their 38 consecutive game win streak, try to get back onto the saddle against the Fort Hays State Tigers. 9-0 this season, seeking their first outright MIAA title and MIAA title in general since joining the conference back in 2006. Chris Brown, a former Pittsburgh State player, doing an absolutely fantastic job with the Tigers right now. And we are going to go ahead and take you out to Maryville, Missouri, where currently Rich Wright and the Bearcats are about to take on the Tigers.
That is, I think, will play much of a factor in today's game.
No, we're kind of starting to get into that playoff feel, though, with the chillier temperatures and everybody kind of bundling up to have to come out here. It kind of feels like playoff football, especially when you have two top 10 teams battling today.
1st and 10 for Northwest from our left to our right. At quarterback, Martin, play action, looks to throw and finds Bain at the line of scrimmage off the right side. He'll be immediately hit, and it'll be a loss on the play back to about the 22, 23-yard line. Trying to go for that pass at the line of scrimmage, but Fort Hays State read that play well.
Well, you talked about getting the ball in the hands of Flame.
And we are back in Warrensburg, Missouri, where we will take a look at what was a touchdown of 5 and a spectacular drive orchestrated by Brooke Bowles. Once again, he is able to find his halfback in Colby Wilkerson from 15 yards away. Score is 21-7. Brooke Bowles, the younger brother of two of his other Bowles siblings who played with the Bearcats within the exact same conference. He tried to blaze his own trail with the UCM Mules, and he has done a fantastic job en route to the wheel route running Wilkerson from 15 yards away. The PAT was good, making the score 21-7, and the Riverhawks, as confident as they are following the win against the Lions of Missouri Southern, they are trailing by 2 possessions right now. And we will currently transition back to Maryville, Missouri, where Fort Hays State and the Bearcats are playing.
Williams, the intended receiver, on a quick slant pass was batted down, and it goes incomplete. Cayman Clayton, the defensive back on the coverage for Fort Hays State. This will bring up 4th down.
Clayton was right there the whole time. Connor Shadid was coming over. It looked like Zach Martin might have stared Williams down a little bit too much right there. He's been a good 3rd down receiver, and I think everybody kind of knew that might be where the ball is going.
Foreman to punt. Averaging just over 38 yards per punt. Lane Beaverly back deep to try to return this punt. Light rush, and Foreman gets into it. Fielded by Beaverly at the 28 near the left numbers. He's across the 35 into the 38-yard line, and that's where Fort Hays State will take over 1st and 10, 13:43 left in the first quarter. No score. We're back right after this 30-second timeout on the Bearcat Radio Network. Support for today's Bearcat broadcast comes from Carson's Sports Grill, located on the Maryville Square. Carson's is open for lunch and dinner and offers a selection of sandwiches, appetizers, and more for dine-in or carry-out. More at 660-582-2699.
Support for the Bearcat Radio Network comes from FSB Mortgage, providing first-time and veteran homebuyers assistance with financing needs to fit a budget. More information from Jeff Farlow, 816-233-7400. FSB Mortgage, a division of Farmers State Bank.
And we take a look back at Topeka, Kansas, right now over in Maryville, Missouri. Fort Hays State is driving right now following a Bearcat punt, but the score right now 7-3. The Broncos lead on the road against the Ichabods, and the Broncos have been a very surprising team this season. Chas Stallard has stepped into his own in that quarterback position. He's top 2 in the conference in both passing yards and passing touchdowns. In addition, with Clay McKenzie, one of the best halfbacks in the MIAA.
Just a few plays kick a field goal after the turnover, but then they had a big run by Blake Peterson of 52 yards. Very next play they fumble it, would have had 2nd and 3 at the Central Oak 20, and Central Oak comes down the field, and pretty impressive actually. Central Oaks missed a field goal as well when they had a touchdown called back.
Well, Blake Peterson hitting the backfield, he fumbles the football, and I think Central Oklahoma ended up on it. It was the left defensive end, I think Eli Hooks, who came around the edge, and Central Oklahoma gets the football. Peterson really
well, Blake Peterson and company trying to move down the field and take the lead against the Broncos, who are visiting them in Topeka, Kansas. But Blake Peterson sacked for a 9-yard loss by Justin Stewart. Fumbling the football was Peterson. It was also recovered by Justin Stewart, who is already having a phenomenal afternoon. UCO is going to take over offensively. And we will go ahead and take a look into Warrensburg, Missouri, where the Riverhawks and the Mules are playing right now. The Mules were able to jump out to an early 21-7 lead. The first quarter beginning to wind down, but Brooke Bowles and his offense absolutely dynamic. And in addition, Devontae Turner with his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. Colby Wilkerson, another halfback for this team, getting involved in the receiving game.
Shavers to his right now. Abdul will split out to the near side. Yeager back to pass, steps up into the pocket. He's got some room across midfield, falls down at the 49-yard line of the Mules. That'll be a pickup of 3.
Abdul almost had 100 yards last week against Missouri Southern. He carried it 20 times for 98. The Riverhawks have not had a 100-yard rusher this season.
Line of scrimmage, the 49-yard line of the Mules. Riverhawks have already run it for 16, thrown it for 84. That's net 16. Now they're going to hand it off to Abdul, and he's going to lose about 3 on that one. That's a nice stop by the defense.
Alex Lackey got through without anybody touching him at all to block him.
We have split screens right now. UCM and Washburn currently both in the red zone trying to truck forward. UCM wants to extend their lead. The Ichabods trying to take the lead at home during Senior Day.
6-3, coming off a win against Missouri Western by 10. Central Oklahoma, they are 5-4 on the year, coming off 3 wins in a row, including a win over Central Missouri, 48-30. Ball right in the middle of the field on the 23-yard line. Stollard in the gun, Moss to his right. Stollard dropping back to pass. Just a simple fade route into the corner. It's going to be overthrown by a yard, intended for Dustin Bass, the sophomore, and he had his man beat, but just too far. It's incomplete, and the Ichabod defense does a nice job of forcing a field goal after the quick sudden change after the sack and fumble from Blake Peterson.
Yeah, they got fortunate there, obviously, because that receiver, Bass, was open in the end zone if he just put it on the money. And the first down, right after the turnover, he had Crockett
Craig
running
Shureck's
by
group,
himself from
the
10-yard line.
Ichabods currently trailing 10-3 right now. Central Oklahoma was able to recover a fumble by Blake Peterson, who was stumbling out of the gate. But here is Alex Quevedo, who's already missed 1 field goal today.
Too hard. Quevedo up, and it looks like it is right through the middle, and it is
Kemp
good.
is good. That puts the Broncos up even more. 1 possession to be, in fact, 10-3 on the road in enemy territory against the 4th-ranked team in the MIAA Conference. Nick Bobak is doing a fantastic job at the helm for this Broncos team. Offense is firing on all cylinders. He has the best wide receiver in the MIAA as well in JT Looper, who leads the conference with over 1,000 yards receiving. And here are all of our games going on currently. UCO just scoring against Washburn. Right now, Northwest Missouri, as you see in the red zone right now. And then also to your top left, UCM taking on the Riverhawks right now. UCM came out of the gates early, swinging 21-7 is the score in the second quarter. Right now, we're about to transition into the second quarter. But the Fort Hays State game looking like a very promising matchup. It's the MIAA game of the week as well. Obviously, it's against 2 top 5 teams in the country. The Fort Hays State Tigers, currently ranked number 1 in the MIAA Conference, looking for their first conference crown. In addition, they are number 1 in the Super Region 3, Northwest at 5. This will determine a lot about how the Super Region 3 will play out.
State will have it 1st and 10. Good coverage downfield on special teams for Northwest. Hessler among those down to help make that tackle. Bixler, and this will bring up 1st and 10 for Fort Hays State from their own 40-yard line. Again, no score is, Matt, when you look at the stats coming into this game, both of these teams very good on defense. Number 1 and number 2 in most all defensive categories, and so far early on, it's been a defensive game.
Yeah, and that's where field position plays a big role. And after that big loss for Northwest to start that drive, then the punt, all of a sudden Hayes has the ball in their own 40 to start. So they're winning the field position battle early on. We'll see if the Bearcats can try to force a turnover and get it back.
Missouri at quarterback out of the shotgun formation. They go on the ground. Naheem gets the carry.
And let's go back to Warrensburg, Missouri, where a big play is about to unfold. UCM leads 21-7 at home as the first quarter of action is beginning to wind down there, as Jim Savota's group able to knock off at the beginning of the season the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. They took the Bearcats down to the wire in the Fall Classic at Arrowhead Stadium, which was a fantastic game. Many people tuning in to that contest. And rolling outside the pocket, Cade Yeager lobbing it up in the air. And it's a catch and run down the sideline for a gain near the 50-yard line.
Hi, I'm Tony Keithley from Holden, Missouri, and Cliff Harrison and Warrensburg Ford just made us another happy customer.
Warrensburg Ford announces the year-end sales event with great savings on remaining 2017 Ford models. Get $6,750.
Fourth and short yardage for Fort Hays State.
And you got to credit Jack Richards with that one. He caught it at the 49-yard line. The first down marker's the 50. Right as he caught that pass, Jack Richards came in, wrapped him up, and dropped him 1 yard short. Now we're going to see the punt team come out onto the field for Fort Hays.
Dante Brown to punt, 5'10", 180-pound sophomore. Now has 14 punts inside the 20-yard line after his first and went down at the 9-yard line. Good snap. He wants to run out of it this time. Takes the snap. Is caught from behind. Will be dropped for a loss on the play. Cole Bixler there to bring him down, and Northwest will take over on downs.
What a play by Bixler. He ended up, looked like a loss of 1, maybe 2 on that. That's the way you want to be. You want to be at midfield, try to pull the wool over the eyes of the Bearcats there and try to steal a first down, but Northwest was ready for it, and the Bearcats, fantastic field position. We talk about win that position battle. Northwest starting out on the Fort Hays 46-yard line this drive.
Pittsburgh State last week converted on a fourth down play such as that. This time the Bearcats read it, and the Bearcats with in good field position now. 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line of the Tigers. No score. Martin throws out of the backfield left side. Grove comes up with the catch on the screen pass. He's to the 40 and to the 38-yard line. A gain of nearly 9 yards on that first down pass for Northwest.
And a great play call there, too, to get Jordan Grove out on the boundary. Shane Williams cut his defensive back that was guarding him, and that sprung him for that big gain.
2nd down and 8 after an 8-yard, rather 2nd down and 2 after an 8-yard gain. 3 receivers go wide to the right side. Tight end Clayton Wilson lining up a slot to the left. Now goes in motion left to right. Cats go on the ground on the handoff. No gain this time. This will bring up 3rd down for the Bearcats. And Jones gets the carry. The junior out of Manila, Illinois. And this will bring up 3rd down and 3. Jonathan Baker coming into the game at quarterback for Northwest. Grove will line up to his left as Northwest operates out of the shotgun formation on this 3rd and 3. 3 receivers go wide to the right side. Ball at the 39-yard line. Pass tipped up in the air and will go incomplete. Pass was tipped away by Luke Wright, a defensive end, as Baker's trying to look on the near right side to get the pass off, and it goes incomplete. This will bring up 4th down.
Man, the Bearcats got lucky, too. That one hung up in the air, and he was searching for it, looking for that interception. Luckily, it hit the ground, and we'll see the Bearcats facing a 4th and 3, but bringing the punt team out.
Look along that front line for Fort Hays State. They've got some size to do things like that. 6'4", 6'5", and 6'4" among their front 4 defensively. Thorman takes the snap at midfield and angles it toward the left side. An end-over-end punt that will take a bounce at the 7 and kick out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Another nice punt by Matt Thorman. 22nd time this year he's gone inside the 20, and this one will be down to the 3-yard line where Fort Hays State will take over 1st and 10. Breaking the action, 8:22 left in the first quarter. No score. Back in 30 seconds on the Bearcat Radio Network.
Support for the Bearcat Radio Network comes
We're going ahead and cut away from Marysville, Missouri to go to Topeka, Kansas, where right now the Broncos in the red zone once again against the Washburn Ichabods. And so far, the Ichabods defense, which was highly vaunted heading into this contest, only allowing under 22 points per game being scored against them, has already succeeded 10 so far.
Defensive coordinator trying to figure out how to play this offense. Good luck, because they're going side to side, as you talked about, an east-west offense. Once they catch it, they go north and south. But they're doing a lot of different routes. Nothing's high risk at all. It's a pretty conservative, but a fun offense to watch.
Looper goes in motion. Stollard fakes it. It's a straight quarterback draw, but the offensive line didn't do a good job there. Nice job by Will Jones, a tackle for a loss from the sophomore from Washburn Rural. And that time they tried to outflank him with Daxton Williams and Caleb Moss going from left to right, but nice job by Will Jones. It's a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 11 coming from the Washburn-Ichabod 12-yard line. Ichabods need to hold them to a field goal attempt here when we've got 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, and Washburn's offense hasn't generated much. They've got more turnovers than they do, first downs. Stollard fakes the handoff. Nope. Yeah, he does. He fakes the handoff and tries to outstretch the defense.
Welcome back to Maryville, Missouri right now. The score is 0-0 still as we take our triple look at the games going on right now. Only 3 contests. Washburn at home against UCO, Central Missouri against Northeastern in Warrensburg, and then the 8-1 Bearcats faltering last week to the Pittsburgh State Gorillas against the Tigers at home in Maryville, Missouri. And we will go over to Warrensburg, Missouri right now. And at the moment, NSU trailing the Mules 21-7. Right now, Central Missouri is on the prowl.
Stonewall, Louisiana. Stopped Turner at the 11.
Bowles has 6 carries for a net of 57. He's gained 70 yards, but with the sacks, they netted at 57. 2nd down for the Mules at the 13-yard line. Bowles has it, fakes the option, runs up the middle, and he'll be wrapped up.
Nice tackle by Kadeem Hamilton. 6'1", 315, junior out of Laverne, Alabama. Able to grab Brook around the ankles and stop him from making any further damage.
12:10 to go in the first half. 21-7. Mules have the lead. Mules are on the move.
Well, UCM right now still on the move, but in Topeka, Kansas currently, a field goal attempt was converted by Alex Quevedo. Currently, he is 2 for 3 on the day. He missed a 24-yard chip shot, but hey, you know, a 39-yarder and a 31-yarder, that's just as good. Score 13-3 right now early on in the second quarter. The Broncos lead by 10 on the road against the Ichabods. Washburn, depending on how everything shakes up, if Central Missouri, although they lead by 14, happens to lose this contest to the Riverhawks, who are coming off their first win of the season, the Ichabods could have a shot at wiggling in, maybe inside the top 10 in the Super Regional rankings next week.
Just kind of stayed right in Parker's way without creating interference and was able to prevent that one.
Langer is 12 of 14 on field goals. This is a 24-yard attempt right down the middle of the field. He has a long of 43 this year. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is blocked. So the Riverhawks block it. We've seen that a lot. We've seen a lot of blocks and a lot of misses this year. 21-7. Mules lead it. 11:38 to go in the first half. You're listening to Mules Football on the UCM Sports Radio Network.
Have you lost?
And Mary, welcome back inside our MIAA studios. Cam Molina with you as we cut away from Warrensburg, Missouri, where the score is 21-7 still. Alex Langer attempting a field goal, but it was blocked by the Riverhawks. That's the first block kick of the season against Alex Langer, against this very talented special teams unit of UCM. Langer heading into that contest, 12 of 14 on the season, kicking. In addition, his longest field goal, 43 yards, a big-time kicker in the MIAA conference. Still standing at 0-0 currently right now are the Fort Hays State Tigers taking on the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. The Bearcats at one point in time brought in their reserve quarterback into the contest in Jonathan Baker. Baker, who has been with the club for 4 years, who graduated from Maryville High School, won a couple state championships in the state of Missouri, being inserted into the starting lineup ahead of the transfer from Iowa Western Community College in Zach Martin, who last week tossed 4 interceptions against the Gorillas.
Clear a couple of things up. Here's Abdul's going to split out of the backfield. Yeager back to pass. Steps up into the pocket. He's in trouble. He's going to run. Gets to the 20, up to the 24 before he is pushed out of bounds. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 for the Riverhawks. 3rd and manageable.
Austin Miller came all the way from the near side of the field to the far side of the field to push him out of bounds after a couple of his teammates had missed tackles, but only a short gain of 5. So Mules have 3rd and 6 to try to stop them.
Shavers will be in the backfield with Yeager. trips to the near side, one to the far side for the River Hawks.
Cody Bell and Jeff Holsinger come in at defensive back and defensive end.
Back to pass is Yeager.
So as you see, we have a triad of games currently going on. As you see toward the bottom of your screen, the Fort Hays State Tigers and Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats, who kicked off at 1:30 due to the fact that it was senior day. Still in a deadlock, 0-0. Both teams puttering along because the defenses are so stout. Here are some offensive breakdowns from both clubs so far. Each team with 1 first down so far in the contest. Northwest Missouri, 40 yards passing through the air, 13 rushing yards, trying to exact revenge following last week's loss to the Gorillas. And the Tigers in total only have 24 offensive yards, 15 on the ground, or should be 9 on the ground, 15 through the air. The 9 rushing yards by Kenneth Iheme. Kenneth Iheme leads the conference in rushing with 1,029 yards. That's good for top 15 in the country, too.
Bearcats going into just a slight breeze out of the south. Martin at quarterback, he'll have Jordan Thompson to his right this time, and 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Play action. Martin rolls right side, wants to throw on the near right sideline. Leaping up, bringing down that pass was Sykes. He was immediately hit and dropped. There's a Quill Knowles there to make the tackle for Fort Hays State. Oh, now at the 37-yard line, and this will bring up 3rd down and 6 for Northwest.
Man, that's a good job of Sykes using his size. If that were any other receiver, that one's sailing out of bounds, but he's a pretty big guy standing in at 6'5", went up, grabbed that one, picked up about 7 or 8 for the Bearcats, bringing up a 3rd manageable.
At the 37-yard line, right hash, Northwest, south to north, rather north to south in this first quarter at Bearcat Stadium. Back to pass Martin. Scrambles on the near right side. Now we'll run with the ball and dive out of bounds and knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And will be a yard shy of a 1st down if that mark holds.
And I think you at least gave Rich Wright a decision to make. It looks like he's going to leave his offense out there and go for it here on 4th down.
So 4th and 1, Northwest scoring for it. They are 2 of 7 on 4th down conversions this season. Ball at the 32-yard line, need to get past the 31 for a 1st down. Martin operating out of the pistol formation. Grove will now line up to his left, and the handoff goes right up the middle as Emmanuel Jones gets the 1st down. Nice hole off the right side of the offensive line. Picks up 3 and a 1st down for Northwest.
Only a gain of 3, but that was an emphatic gain of 3, too. You're going up against Fort Hays State's strength there in that defensive front 7, and the Bearcats pushed them around, and Jones flew through to pick up that 1st down.
One of the things Coach Wright talked about in the pregame interview, that the offense much more physical during practice this week. He was really happy to see that. 3 receivers go wide to the right side. Now Quincy Jones goes in motion right to left. They will hand off and go right side as Jones gets the carry. And he goes to the 25-yard line and picks up about 4 yards, and this will bring up now 2nd down and 2nd and 7 officially after a 3-yard gain. Bishop and Tatum go wide to the left side. Groves running up on the right. Ball just shy of the 25-yard line. Northwest trying to get on the board first here as Grove goes in motion right to left. Play action. Martin wants to throw on the near right side. Goes incomplete. Kind of in between of Grove and Wilson.
Currently right now in Warrensburg, Missouri, Central Missouri, having the opportunity to strike. Blake Bowles so far in this contest, 171 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown. In addition, he's also rushed for a touchdown. And we take a look in Topeka, Kansas, once again, where the score right now is 13-3. UCO leading over the Ichabods on the road. Chas Dowder and company putting together quite the resume over the last 2 weeks. If they're able to pull off this win against Washburn, that'll be consecutive weeks where they've beaten MIAA teams that are ranked within the top 4 in the conference.
Flushed, he'll throw it out to the right side, gets it to Sigler, makes a man miss, 45-40 and down to the 38-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down for the Mules. Great job by Javante Sigler, Benjamin Eaton to get yards after the catch on that one.
Yeah, that was a nasty move. He looked like he was going to run out of bounds, made the defensive back think he didn't see him, and then back chuked at the last second.
Of course, Benjamin Eaton's comments brought to you by Muddy Creek Barbecue, 115 North Holden Street, locally owned and operated. Everything is homemade. Bowles has it, back to pass, looks to his right, wants to go deep, fires, caught at the 23-yard line. Jalen Zachary hauls that one in, and Bill, Jalen Zachary starting to rack up a bunch of yards here, having a good game.
He is. It's his last home game, and boy, what a fantastic senior career, or four-year career he has had. Came in as a freshman, and boy, he has been a dandy.
Sigler, Parker, and Zachary to the near side. Bowles has it, fakes the option, runs it up the middle to the 20, 15, cuts outside 10, gets through a tackle to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown.